Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Taurus. If Taurus is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. Okay, let's see what these tea leaves have to say today. All right, and so if you haven't subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. When you do it, it tells you when the next videos are coming out. It is free to subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. And so we would love to have you become part of the community here at the channel. Ooh, and we have a big face. Look at that. And before we get to that face, I'm going to tell you what your card is. It is the Six of Discs, which has everything to do with success. So a most welcomed energy. Now we have this face, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and I don't know, what is it doing? It looks like it's just kind of, neither happy nor sad, just kind of there, just hanging out. And beside it, I see it almost looks as if somebody is kind of leaning over to kind of whisper in the ear here of this person. You can see their head right here. And I'm looking. And then on top, it looks like somebody is up there kind of standing and setting a fire there. Okay, so when I think of this, it's almost like those little voices whispering away, those interior monologue, dialogue. It is a monologue. If you're like me, it is a monologue. But yes, interior dialogue, but also almost kind of on the verge of like the invasive thoughts, right? These thoughts that just come. The pleasure, the displeasure, indifference, cycling through and through and through, constantly wondering, am I doing the right thing? Should I be doing something else? This is boring. Why am I here? I should be doing something else. I want to do something else, and really I feel like there has been anyways a sense of restlessness rising, and this might be partially because we're really on the cusp of these big seasons, right? The solstice is coming and you can feel it. In the south, the summer, it's probably very hot there. Well, all over the whole the whole southern hemisphere is probably very hot. I don't know, maybe it is, but it's probably warm, right? A lot of energies to get out. And in the north, it's getting cooler. The nights are long, the days are short. There is a restlessness. I think of this especially once we get past the holiday season, and the many different holidays that are going on, lots of festivities and things. We get into that deeper winter, especially where I live. It's very cold here. It's kind of the tundra, right? And we get into those months of cabin fever, right? The stirrings of whatever that thing is that comes to live with you in those dark months. If you think of, something like The Shining, right? It's just kind of uncomfortable, uncanny, but also there's a long feeling of listlessness. And so I feel that there's kind of just this, if you could imagine a tight ball of energy, of maybe a bit of anxiety, just really kind of building up in you. With the fire on the top of the head, I think almost it is a sense of rising passions, where you really have to walk the fine line of engaging in things that you enjoy, taking, this fire for motivation, to get active, to do whatever it is that your heart desires, but then not falling over into that kind of habitual, obsessive, compulsive, spirally, that other side that is really close, right? It's very close. So I think this is a good time for tempering of self. And I think that if you can, if you are able, if you are willing, this is really going to be that wave that gets you into that real success. And I think that's because you could put so much of this energy into the work you're doing. If that is your job, your career, your passions, whatever it is. This is the place, right? This is the time. And, I think that with the renewal of energy comes a lot of opportunity for, deeper acts of devotion. I really, I'm looking at this one right here, and I have a person who's kind of reaching out for the moon, okay? And I think, there's just this wanting. We also have the bird right here, and I'll say this is maybe an ibis bird, with kind of that long nose that's curved a little bit, and the beak. And this is the symbol of Thoth, okay? The god of magic and sciences and many other things. But I really think that this is a place where things could really align in a real movement towards deep transmutation. But I also think it's like, the emphasis I keep thinking of, it's really about looking for the quality of your experiences, not the quantity of them. I think that's where you can get really distracted, is just wanting to go, do all these different things. But it's just like going through the motion of them. It's like it's just something pulling you. Whereas if you look for the quality in whatever you're doing, right, really finding the places, the things, the people that bring this deep movement in you, not just pulling it out of you, but really, add to the greater makeup of, what your inspirations, your internal kind of stirrings and the energy is flowing through you, the thing, being around things and people who kind of invoke new signs, symbols, understandings. Excuse me. And so, in doing so, there really is, that sense of being able to reach the moon, right? Really getting out there into outer space, into those beautiful kind of surreal places, moving beyond all of this lower stuff. I really, although this, we're talking about a really earthy archetype here, I really feel like, almost this space traveler really getting out there in some different kinds of innovative conceptual stuff. If you're an artist or a musician or a business person or, I don't know, whatever, you make something. I can just see that you're coming up with really interesting ideas. Okay. And, because when we're just kind of going and we're spreading our energies around, these things, they come and go. We don't keep hold of them very well. But when we're taking our time and we're really applying ourselves to quality, I'm just going to keep calling it quality experiences. This is where we can really, kind of stop and take note of these, mental pathways that we're having, these inspirations that we're having, keeping, and quite literally writing them down, keeping track of this stuff. And, I think ultimately we also have a little bit of, well, now I see another, I keep seeing a face, like the eyes, the mouth, the nose, kind of a beard maybe. I see that. And I'm thinking it reminds me of like Bob's Burgers or something. But also kind of this, maybe like a night of, maybe the night of discs, really spending time to hone more of your skill set, applying that to what you're doing, whatever it is that you're good at, whatever you're interested in, and creating, really creating this in this next period of time. But I also see two people embracing one another, one here and one here, and coming together. And so I feel like there is a happy union. If this is romantic, if this is in a partnership, a creative partnership, a business partnership, I see a lot of harmony here. Okay, a lot of balance, a lot of, shared efforts. And, I think that's something that is really going to add to this overall experience that you're having. When you are kind of riding the same wave with somebody and able to, trust and rely on them to do the things that they need to, they need to do, and you're doing what you need to do, and working together on that, that's a beautiful and wonderful thing. And, and so I see, quite a lot of enjoyment, a lot of hard work, and, ultimately just coming to this place of like a deeper understanding. And I feel like you are somebody who is becoming quite masterful in whatever your thing is. If you're, a tech person or a painter or a musician or, whatever it is, a lot about what you're doing. And, I think that you are somebody that at some point could even begin to teach. And I think that Taurus people are really interesting because you experience things a little bit different than a lot of the rest of us. Kind of a ability to, kind of relate to almost anybody, an ability to see the fine details. You're good at looking at the subtle. You have kind of an out of outside of the box thinking or whatever. And the way that you communicate is kind of almost like, it takes very special kinds of people to be able to really, really, really talk to children, right? Of all ages, not just little children, but of all ages, children. And I almost see it kind of like that, where you get down on the level, you meet people equally, and you really engage with them. You make them feel like you're listening, you're understanding what they're saying, and you're building upon it, right? You're trying to figure this out together. And so I think, in the near future, or sometime out there in the future, I could see you being some kind of mentor, teacher, maybe like, doing some kind of courses or whatever it is. And maybe a YouTube channel. Hey. But yes, I do think that's something to really consider. And I think that you maybe already are doing this. Maybe it is something that you've kind of had the little itch for. But I I definitely feel like this is something that maybe would fit you really well. Okay, so we have a large K here. So if K means anything, that's important. Now we have a person who is kind of meeting a tree. I feel like walking out into a place that's quite empty except for maybe just the trees. And I feel like this is something meaningful, maybe a place that you go. Maybe this is almost like in like a cemetery, or you're like visiting somebody who has passed, transitioned. Maybe this is in a park or in your backyard or something, but you go there to commune with somebody, at least one person who has transitioned from their physical form. And I can see that this is something that you are really doing a lot lately, okay? And I think this is because you want some kind of guidance. And I just want you to know that you are being heard, okay? And I also see an S up here. So we have a K and we have an S. Other than that, it just looks like there's a real emphasis on, we have a sun and a moon. So I think there's a real emphasis on making sure that your sleep cycle is, the way that it needs to be for you, whatever that looks like. However you exist, if you're a night person, morning person, whatever, that you are getting enough sleep, and not just passing out kind of sleep, like you are getting restful sleep, restorative sleep. So if you have to work on a new sleep routine, that's important to get back to a place where you are, definitely getting in that restorative place, okay? So that you don't ultimately, your immune system doesn't take a hit and start to get vulnerable to ailments and things. So let's see. We also have the Cincy Child Affirmation cards, and I'm gonna go ahead. We're just gonna flip through those real quick and stop where it feels right. I'm gonna go back here. The back feels about right, and it says, "I honor and respect myself." Seems like a very Taurus card. I honor and respect myself. I like it. I like it. I like it. Okay, Taurus, I want to say thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor and a privilege to be able to bring these messages to you, if you would be so kind as to like the video. It really does help the channel so much. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. It is free to subscribe, doesn't cost you anything. And if you want to leave a comment, please do. I read them all, and they mean everything to me. Also, if you have a small business, a channel, or a service you'd like to advertise on here, there's a post in the community posts where you can comment that information so other people here at the channel or other community members can see what you are working on and what kind of services you are providing. I think it's important that we, I have this little platform. It's growing. It's, not huge, not tiny, but enough, right? And hopefully more and more and more. But, it's a place where we can connect each other, and I think that, you all support me, and I appreciate that. I'd love to support you. So please go over there and put that info in there. And if you don't, just go over there anyways and look. I really feel like this is my thinking about this, is that the universe puts us in each other's way, right? We meet each other at our little crossroads, and we have some kind of frequency vibration where, we're people that are, out here doing magical things and learning and healing and loving and, all these things. And I think there's no mistake that we find each other in each other's lives. And so maybe something you're looking for will be provided there, There are a lot of really talented people over there. On the post, a lot of different kinds of readers, and just all kinds of different things. So go over there and look, and go support some of those people. Go look at their channels and videos and everything else. So anyways, I want to say thank you. I love you. Take care of yourself. We will talk in just a few days. And TT says, good night. Good night, good morning, good day, wherever you are.